on YouTube because we always live stream straight over to YouTube channel. Will do. Someone's asking me to rename them, so let me take care of that. Good morning, Daisy. There we go. Oh, I feel like I'm doing 15 different things. Hold on. It looks like YouTube is going to catch up and stream here in a moment. I cannot find the deck that I intended to read with today. I always take that as a divine sign, so we'll just see what deck comes up for us. It will take me just a minute to find another deck. I don't know how I misplaced it. I was using it last night, so maybe I left it downstairs. Who knows? Okay, good Lord. Welcome. Okay, I'm here. I'm a little discombobulated, but it's Monday. Give me some grace. All right, welcome. Hi, I'm Valerie Lewis. This is Magical Monday Manifestations. We come together every Monday to get guidance from Spirit through the use of cards. I use tarot and then also oracle cards. And I also allow Spirit to weave whatever messages need to come through for the collective through the reading. I am a psychic medium as well as an interstellar communicator. Why does Valerie mention interstellar communication? She never does that because I just put an event on the calendar for October where it's called Chatting with Interstellars. I haven't done that in a while, so go check it out. I believe it's going to be on the 17th, if I remember correctly. It's where I channel messages from our interstellar friends, otherwise known as higher frequencies. So even if you're not down with the interstellar part, it's still really, really good messages that come through when I do those events. So check that one out. Also, I've got a special treat for y'all today. Today, I am going to share the reading with my dear friend Elizabeth. So many of you have experienced readings from Elizabeth before. She is a phenomenal, and I mean phenomenal, tarot reader. She always says that she learns from me. I always learn from her. She has this really unique way of looking at tarot cards and interpreting meanings. And so she is joining me today. And yay, she's already put her information over there in the chat. She is from Willow Root Tarot. She also has a meetup group. So check her meetup group out as well. Very experienced, very in tune tarot reader. So she'll be helping me with the reading today. I am feeling back to myself. For those of y'all who were here last week and y'all saw that I needed a reader last week. I'm cool. Thanks for all your well wishes. A couple of house cleaning things that I want to take care of here at the top of the hour before we get into the readings. Meetup. I'm going to send as much gratitude as I can to Meetup because Meetup has helped me grow my group. It's helped me reach out to and connect to all of you. But I am going to be leaving the platform unless something better comes along. I allow myself to be open for the manifestations of the universe. So I'm saying this or something better. But I will be leaving the Meetup platform as of December 24th. So y'all still have some time. I am not stopping these events. I'm leaving the Meetup platform, but I am not stopping these events. I will be transferring over to a different platform where you will still be able to log in and see all of the events that I'm doing online. That announcement will come out on October 1st. It's like a soft launch of the platform so people can start getting familiar with it. And then November 1st and December, from November through December is when I plan to fully switch all of my things over to that new platform. So look out for your emails. Make sure you're on my email sign up so that you can get all the information about that new platform when it comes out. Again, soft launch on October 1st and then full switch over November through December. I do believe the platform is going to be really good. It's going to be a one-stop shop where you can go to one place to schedule readings, to get posts from me. There is like a post very much like Facebook that you're familiar with. So you'll be able to go there to get posts from me, to schedule readings with me, to see all of my events, sign up with my events. My membership will also be on that. And my courses will all be on that one-stop place. So I'm really excited about that. What else did I want to say? Oh, I will still have a presence, a pseudo presence on Meetup, just because I'm heavily involved with Awkwardly Zen. So many of you also know about the meetup group Awkwardly Zen. As far as I know, Awkwardly Zen will stay on Meetup, so occasionally you will see me do partnered events underneath the Awkwardly Zen name. But as far as Tarot, Unicorns, and Coffee, we will be moving to a new platform. If any of what I just said was confusing and it didn't make sense, shoot me an email and I will clear it up for you, or just look for that email coming out around the 1st of October where I will explain all of it. My email address is going to be tarotunicornscoffee@gmail.com. That's tarotunicornscoffee@gmail.com. All right, I think that's all I wanted to say, except dun, 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 y'all are about to be wowed and amazed and just blown away with the amazing readings from Elizabeth today. Elizabeth and myself will be tag team. If you really like our style of reading together, make sure you check out our October event, which is posted in both of our meetup groups, where we are going to be reading together. It's Two Witchy Women. We're back again. We do partnered events, I don't know, about every quarter, and we call it Two Witchy Women. And for October, because October happens to be Halloween, in case y'all didn't know, and both Elizabeth and myself love, love, love Halloween. So we're doing some readings around the holidays. We're going to be pulling from some Halloween-themed decks, but you'll get readings from both of us if you attend that event. There's two ways that you can attend that event. You can attend that event and just benefit from the group reading, which we will do at the start of the event for everyone there. That's a $10 charge just to be part of the group reading, and then listen as we give individual readings to others. If you want to be one of the participants who actually receives an individual reading for us, we have priced it very affordably to get a reading from 2 tarot readers. It's only $40. So I hope you join us at that event. And again, that's on both of our calendars. All right. And Jacqueline also just put in that we're doing the interstellar energy session. Not we, I'm doing the interstellar energy session this Thursday as well. No, that was last Thursday. No, I already did that. That was last Thursday. I don't know what that is. You're mixing me up. All right. All right. Let's get into the readings. I invite you to take a couple of deep breaths and settle in. Send your ask out to the universe. What are you seeking guidance on today? Clarity today? What messages would you like to receive? Maybe you don't have something in general and you just want to feel supported this morning. Go ahead and send those askings out to the universe. Take a couple of moments to get as clear as you can with those requests. The universe loves for us to get specific so it can go to work. And then when you feel as if you have sufficiently asked the universe, cut that shit out. Stop asking, because you can't ask and receive at the same time. So move yourself into the receiving and allowing. Just gently say to yourself, I'm ready to receive and allow what the universe is ready to bless me with. And really, it's not the universe blessing you. It's just you putting yourself in a position to see what is already available, which we often block ourselves from. So just move yourself into that allowing and receiving. And we will go ahead and get started here. You know what, Elizabeth, I don't often read from this. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Go ahead and unmute and stay unmuted, if you don't mind.
No worries, yeah.
I don't often read from this deck, but I know it's one of your favorite. I'm going to read from Ken Crane's Tarot.
Oh.
Unknown Tarot deck. And we'll just see how that goes. I don't often read from this deck. And I think the reason why is just I'm not familiar. She doesn't say wands. I think she says spears. And so it's some weird way that she names the suits. And so I get confused in my brain. But we're going to go for it because I know it's one of your favorites. And I think that'll just add to the synergy of, add to our synergy when we read together. So we've decided, for the sake of, because we have two readers, y'all know I usually read 5 tarot cards and then we move into Oracle. We're going to do 2 tarot cards each, just because 5 is hard to divide in half. Some of y'all know that. Some of y'all are as bad as math than me, and y'all are like, what? What's she talking about? Anyway, I will go ahead and get started. Well, are you ready to go? You've been shuffling. Sure. Elizabeth, I'll let you go first. Why don't you do one, then I'll do one, and then you do one. I'm still shuffling.
Okay. So for a group message, I'm using the Universal Rider-Waite-Smith. Sorry, I thought one of my cards had flipped. It hadn't. Okay, I'll pull 2 cards and see what we have for the group. We have the 4 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. This is interesting because there's like a division of the mind. I want to ignore everyone. I don't want their trauma or their trash on me. Oh my God, it's so much. And then turn to the 6 of Cups. Can I help you? Can I give you anything? What do you need? Wait, let me come back to the 4 and abuse myself further by going to the 6 and saying, no, really, I'm not exhausted. Let me help. There's a little bit of give and take in life. Don't keep giving unless you know you are taking. Your cup must be full. And we are looking at the 4 of Cups and the 6 of Cups. So make sure the cup is full. If it's not, who can drink out of it? You're not helping. You're just keeping them starving. So as long as you have a full cup, you can help. If your cup's not full, no guilt, don't help. Help yourself first. Valerie, is that a good time for you? Or I can keep going, but I know when I keep going, I don't stop.
Keep going. I love it. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
So also there's an aspect to this of, I'm saying self-care, but in the 4 of Cups, if we look a little closer, it's like I'm convincing myself I'm too bored to care. I'm too big. I'm too more of this situation than to look back at how I got here. And that's not the case, because self-care is absolutely about looking at what you've done, not to feel bad, to understand where you can go with it. I hear often, pick up and take what works for you, but leave what does not. And it is so true. The 10 of Wands in Tarot asks you not to take too much weight. You will hurt yourself physically, emotionally, and psychologically. And there's no one there to correct you, fix you, help you, but you. So if you're hurting yourself, you just want to heal yourself. But that's a stupid cycle. It's a ridiculous cycle. Just heal yourself, knowing that you are already hurting. The 6 of Cups, it can also be looked at as self-care card. Giving is great. Now, in the beginning, I spoke about giving to others. And saying no is a great word. Try it. But also give to yourself first. And if you think selfish is what that is, then be selfish. But give to yourself first. Absolutely, all the time. And no is a beautiful word that people need to hear often. I've got this strange desire. I know our 2 cards. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up with, I wanted to see if I was going to get another cup. It's the 9 of Pentacles, one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. The idea of what I've just told you between the 4 and the 6 rounds out well in the 9. The 9 of Pentacles is about, here I will say woman, because I identify heavily with this card. A woman goes to barren land. What can she give to barren land? A garden. She can create from scratch, seed by seed by seed, a beautiful environment for her to establish herself, survive, and thrive in. The 9 of Pentacles says, do it for yourself first. And that here is taking your love, labor, and light and creating a garden. This takes decades. This isn't easy. This is hard. Life is difficult. And if you don't care for yourself or your garden, in life, you will wither and die. No one's going to come water you. You got to water yourself, dudes. Keep that cup full all the time. Don't let anyone drink from it if you're not comfortable. Ooh, I'm getting preachy, so I am going to let that one stop.
I love it. Can you show those, what was it, the 4 and the 6 of Cups?
Yeah, we got the 4 and then the 6, and then we finish with the 9. And this is the universal, which I just found an interesting thing about it, but I'm not going to bring it up today. Universal, a little bit of a glare. It's daylight glare. I'm not sure how to get rid of it. I should have shut my blinds. I will say one thing really quickly. If you go on Amazon, you can get the big deck of RWS, double check it, but the deck you get should be what it looked like when Pamela Coleman Smith brought it from the printers. And it's a shocking difference. I Googled the difference. They whitewashed the universal. They're not white people in here, but they're all white here. I was like, what? You know what else Mary Hansen did when she redid it in 1990, hello, great time. She changed the expressions on the characters' faces and softened them. It takes the meaning.
Interesting. It does. Because, yeah, it does.
It's crazy.
Some of those are meant to be. Oh, see, y'all see what I mean when I tell y'all Elizabeth knows her stuff and she always brings something new to the table. Now I want to go back and look at the difference. I want that big deck because my eye's not as good as I used to be. I want to see the small details that maybe I miss in some of the other cards. So you're going to tell me where to get that big deck from. Big decks. Y'all know I like big decks. Okay, let me stop. Um, I have a cup that says that. I created a cup and a t-shirt that says that. I had to stop wearing my t-shirt that says I like big decks, and then in real small print underneath it says tarot reader. But the decks, the E in the decks is purposefully made very, very skinny so that if you're reading it from afar, it looks like it says something else. I used to love wearing that shirt until my grandson understood the innuendo of it and could read, and now I had to stop wearing it. I was like, oh, let me take that off. One day he was like, what's that shirt say, Gigi? And I was like, nothing, never mind. It don't say nothing. Let me put my jacket back on. Um, so the two cards I have are Daughter of Cups. So interesting that we're still staying with cups. I love the rainbow colors represented by a swan. I'm going to call that a swan, Daughter of Cups. And Daughter of Cups translates to page, Page of Cups. And then I also have Ace of Swords. And again, I love her black and white, but she always, most of the cards have some kind of rainbow um, motif added to it. So this is Ace of Swords with the snake intertwined in the infinity sign, in the formation of the infinity sign. I don't know how to say that. What's with my words today? Daughter of Cups, Page of Cups. I was kind of really into Elizabeth's reading because it felt like she was reading for me. It was really kind of what I was going through with the, oh my God, I want to rest, but oh my God, I've got so many things to do for my business and for the community and for all of the things I do in my life, but I really want to rest. And I was going back and forth between that and just really tearing myself to shreds this past week. I did end up resting. I did end up not doing a lot of the things that I thought I needed to do. Um, but I feel like I'm on the other side of that now. Um, I don't quite know how this ties in with that message, but I feel like it does. So I'm just going to start going. I'm just going to start riffing with it. Page of Cups. Maybe this is the other side of that. Maybe the Page of Cups is that message about if you have been feeling that pull going back from both and forth, pages are the messengers of the court. Maybe the page is coming to deliver you some kind of insight, some kind of message about your emotions, cups, how you can get those emotions back in balance. If you feel like you've just been worn too thin, burning the candle at both ends, you don't know. Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's, I don't know which direction to go. I felt a lot of that last week. And I realized that a lot of that was just due to the collective energy. It was due to the super moon. It was due to the eclipse. The eclipse always brings us some kind of chaos usually with our emotions. And I was ready for all of that, but damn, I wasn't as ready as I thought I was because it kind of knocked me on my ass, which is okay because I think a lot of times we need to get knocked on our ass. And when I started seeing that, when I stopped, let me tell you, when I stopped fighting against that feeling of being knocked on my ass and I just welcomed it in, 24 hours turnaround. 24 hours is all it took for me to flip the switch. But I was fighting against it for the better part, I would say 5, 6, 7 days. I was, what's wrong with me and why can't I find the time to do this and the energy to do this? And so I was fighting against it. But when I finally just leaned into it, sometimes we need to get knocked on our ass because the strength that it takes us to stand back up or the lessons that we learn while we're sitting down there on our ass, giving us a different perspective of life, and then we decide to stand back up is exactly what we need in order to move forward. Sometimes we're stuck in a wake up, do the same things, go to bed, wake up, do the same things, go to bed. Whoop, here's a little blip in our life, in our routine, in our something, and we look at it as a bad thing. But spirit is like, no, I needed to shake that up because you were doing the same shit and expecting a different result. So here, this is why I shook it up. And y'all remember last week I pulled that tower card, and that tower card shook things up either in a small way or a big way for all of us. And so I feel like this, what Elizabeth just described, like some of this energy can be calmed by taking the message, because this is the messenger of cups about our emotions. How can we pull those back into balance? And for me, it was not looking at whatever situation of chaos, because that full moon really brought some chaos. And for me, it wasn't not external chaos. It was all internal thought process and emotional chaos. And looking at it as this is the chaos of creation instead of this chaos is ruining my vibe or ruining what's going on for me. So when you can flip that switch and look at it as a positive, it was like within 24 hours, I was kind of out of that funk. Well, I wish I hadn't wasted 6 days being in the funk, but hey, that's life. So anyway, this messenger is bringing you a message, and maybe it's the message I just delivered from spirit because that was definitely channeled. I didn't mean to share that much of my personal information. I hate when spirit makes me do that. I really do. Anyway, so the messenger of cups, how to get your emotions back in place. The daughter of cups. Daughter of Cups in the book. I am going to go to this book because I do like Kim Kranz's interpretation. Creative emotional. Creative energy abounds from the Daughter of Cups. She's romantic, artistic, and easily inspired by her surroundings. A true dreamer by nature. She struggles to stay grounded or to deal with any harsh realities that come her way. She sounds like she has her head in the clouds, and I love that energy. Conflict of any kind is very disturbing to this gentle creature. Daughter of Cups. And then the Ace of Swords. So interesting that we have both the, I keep calling it the daughter. For those of y'all familiar with tarot, it's the page. Pages are known to be the youthful, bringing in new messages, new insights. And then we also have the Ace of Swords, which is a one, which is new beginnings, fresh starts as well. Ace of Swords, though, is with your thought processes. So I can read both of these together and deliver almost the exact same message that I did for the Page of Cups, the page being the deliverer, cups, because she wants to get our emotions balanced again, listening to your intuition. And then Ace of Swords being that fresh new thought that kind of clears things out. I always see that sword as cutting through the clouds of confusion and bringing clarity because swords is air. So I see that sword waving through the air, cutting through the clouds, clearing it out so you can see the sun, so you can see the light, so you can have clarity of thought again. And so I almost read these the same, um, like a different way of looking at the same thing. This one is bringing you emotional stability. This is bringing clarity back to your thoughts, but it's that same idea. How do you need to look at things so that you can see the clarity that's around you? I I keep getting this emphasized from spirit to me. And so I'm going to emphasize it for the collective as well, that all of the things that we are asking for, wanting, all of the clarity in our life, all of the insights, all of the psychic abilities, all of the everything, all of the material possessions, all of the relationships is already there in the moment that we ask for it. Asking it is given is more true than you can ever imagine, than you can even conceptualize in your human brain. It is instantaneously available to you. And I see it as oftentimes it's there, but there's a cloud around us. It's shrouding what we can see and what we can access. Sometimes we can reach through that cloud and we have a sense of what's there, and that keeps us going. Sometimes we can almost grab it and then it slips away again, and that keeps us going. It's like, man, I can manifest a little bit, but then it always goes away and I don't know what I'm doing. Or sometimes we truly are able to wave that cloud, wave that sword, cut through the clouds, and we see and it's so interesting because we see what was already there. Have you ever had that moment where it's like you realize that the solution was right in front of you all the time and that you just didn't have the skills or the knowledge to understand what it was? That happens to all of us in our life. And take those moments and really think about them, because that's the way life is all the time. A lot of times we're asking for these friends and we're asking for these friends and we're saying things like, there's no friends who live in my neighborhood or in my city, or I don't really live in a spiritually um, prevalent place in the world. And spirit is like, yes, you do. They're everywhere. We're everywhere. The light is everywhere. But if you want to keep putting that cloud up and not seeing, you're never going to see that your neighbor is sitting in their house holding their crystals and meditating twice a day and saying the same shit about how nobody in their neighborhood or nobody in their city is metaphysical, because you both have these clouds up, these blinders on. So it's time to not work so hard at going out and finding the things, and work harder at just removing that cloud, removing that thing that's telling you that it's not there, because it's really all around you. And now I feel like I've gotten a little preachy. Let me go with the Ace of Swords from the book. It says truth and mental clarity. When lightning strikes, so there's lightning in that card. When lightning strikes, the whole world seems to light up for just 1 second. It's as though you can see everything, and this vision lingers on even through the storm. Such is the power of the Ace of Swords. Your mind will become clear, your thoughts precise. It's a great time to make those decisions you've been putting off. Notice how it says for just for a second, though, everything gets clear. And then you're back in the storm again. Have you ever experienced lightning strikes like that? It's beautiful when everything lights up for just a second and you can see everything. And then it goes back to the storm again. And I think, like what I was just trying to say, I think Spirit is showing you that if you're in the storm, does that mean the house across the way and the road and the tree in your front yard, does that mean they're all gone? No, they're all there. You just can't see them clearly. That's what that lightning strike is for, to show you everything is here. Everything you want, it's all here. Just for whatever reason, you can't see it clearly. For whatever reason, you're in the storm. So put yourself in the lightning, y'all. Go be Ben Franklin so you can always be in the light. No, that's not what I really mean. But it's just allowing yourself to realize that no matter what situation you're in that's clouding you, you still hold on to the belief that it's all right there. I just have to weather this storm, or I just have to walk out of the storm. Okay, now I got one more story for y'all. And I know y'all are familiar with this. It's the story of the buffalo. The buffalo runs towards the storm because instinctually they know that if they position themselves in the middle of the storm, it's going to take however long it takes that storm to pass over them. If they move and try to run away from the storm, they can't run faster than the storm. They're fucking buffalo. The storm catches up with them, and then they're in the storm as the storm goes, and they're trying to move. However, instinctually, they know if they run straight at that storm, then they're going this way, and they're going to move right through that storm in the fastest means possible. Are they going to avoid the storm? No, but they're going to go through the storm as fast as possible. So maybe that's kind of some advice for us. If you're in the middle of a storm, stop. That's advice for me for sure. If I had listened to that last week, if you're in the middle of a storm, don't fight against it. Go head first into it so that you can get through it and get to the other side. Okay, let's move on to Oracle cards. You got Oracle cards ready, Elizabeth, or you want me to go first?
Well, I can. I'm shuffling right now. I didn't think about shuffling. Okay. I have the cozy. I love the Cozy Witch Tarot, and some tarot decks will have an accompanying oracle, and this one happens to. So this is the Cozy Witch Oracle. Oh no, this is my rune deck. Wait a minute. This is my Cozy Witch Oracle. Sorry. I also have a rune deck that's very nice. This is my Cozy Witch Oracle. Okay, let's see what card we have today. This is beautifully illustrated. It's so cute. And for the group, we have. It feels weird. I usually read Oracle before I read Tarot.
Really?
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm doing it backwards. I'm not really. There's not a right way.
Because, yeah, I can see that because the Oracle would kind of refine or direct.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so we have card number 27 is called Witch. I like it. I have not pulled this card, and considering I'm sitting in a room of witches, most likely. All right. It says witch, and on the card itself, it says justice is coming. There we go. And witch says, they say that whatever we do comes back to us the same 3 times. Times 3. Apologies. Let me start over, guys. I did 2 client readings groups yesterday, and my brain's a little mushy right now, so I'm start over. They say that whatever we do comes back to us the same times 3. If a person's intentions are well-meaning, then that good energy will come back to them in buckets. If a person's intentions are to do harm, then you get the picture here. Either way, the universe is getting ready to deliver its justice. This person might be you. If so, you should handle it with grace and learn from your mistakes. Otherwise, this most likely applies to someone who's caused harm to you or your loved ones. This is so weird. I think about this a lot. I was thinking this morning, I have very random thoughts. If someone harmed me or my family, and I had an opportunity to harm them back, perhaps psychically, would I? What would that actually do to me? And it would hurt me horribly. I had an experience as a child where I was a child. I had no idea what was going to come of my life. And I did psychically hurt someone because when I lifted it years later, I felt the lift and I was still a kid and I knew I had done something and it scared the living shit out of me because I thought I'd harmed someone for a long time. Now, that person may have not felt whatever I'd done, but I'd done it. I felt it. I know it's real. So when I thought about this morning and now pulling the Witch Oracle card, if someone harms me or God forbid my kids, it's not for me to punish them for their actions. I am not that person. Someone else may be. Someone else can do it. There's no right or wrong here. But I know I will harm myself when I harm others. Now, do I take it laying down? No. But I need to not just react. With a witch, if I look using that word, but to say that someone with powers outside of the known or understood, don't fuck with those powers. Really embrace them, love them, and nurture them, but do not destroy them. And there's a distinct possibility abusing those powers will destroy them. So while I may sit in anger and anxiety, sadness, betrayal, I do not need to be those sensations, those feelings. I am not a walking embodiment of feelings. I am a person with a mind, logic, and reasoning. So if I choose to harm someone, then I have thought it through and I will harm them. I don't want to, so most likely I will not. But I have to be cognizant that everything I do has a ripple effect. Everything. And if you imagine standing in a very shallow lake and just tapping your finger or your foot and you're creating these ripples, well, when those ripples hit the shore, they come back to you. Everything you do comes back to you. So if you harm, you will be harmed. Not necessarily in the same way, not trying to be evil or negative. I'm more like saying this is absolutely a form of self-care. To ask for goodness to come to me, I must not express anger. Well, now, guys, this is not 100%, right? I get mad. But to get the gist here, watch out for yourself first. You are the most important person in this world, especially your own reality. Your reality would not exist if you were not here. Nurture that reality. Make it the best place for you. Give Nine of Pentacles, favorite card. Give Nine of Pentacles a go. Don't harm. Just nurture what's all around you, including yourself. And then let them be that nasty, awful person that they will continue to be, and they'll end up alone and sad. No, it's not. There we go. No, now I'm gonna stop. That's my oracle card. That was supposed to be upbeat. That was a little bit upbeat.
I love it. I love it. Do no harm. Yes, the witch's creed. I love it. Okay, I've got a question. Is that a tarot shirt you're wearing?
It is. I don't know. It says La Damas. I think it's the Empress, right? Number 3.
Number 3. But like a modern day. I love
yes.
it.
I got it at the thrift store. I get everything at the thrift store. I was really happy about this thrift store find.
I love it. Okay, my oracle card is from Voices of the Soul Oracle, Voices of the Soul Oracle. Just a little bit about this deck. It gives you every card gives you the perspective from 3 different viewpoints. The first viewpoint is your soul, as if your own soul is talking to you. I found it to be very informative. Like if I really listen to the message, it really does feel like the voice of my soul talking to me on the matter. The second viewpoint is the voice of your spirit guides talking to you on the same subject. And then the third one is called entities. And I like to read this one because it says entities in the guidebook, but it's meant to be other souls speaking to you. So not your own soul, not your spirit guides, but other souls. And your other souls could be souls that may be directly connected to you, perhaps through ties in this life or from a previous existence. So oftentimes the entity could be someone that you knew in this lifetime that has crossed over, that is now non-physical, or it could just be an ancestor or someone who is in non-physical but aware of your current situation, offering advice on the same subject. So let's get into the card. The card that I have pulled is happiness. And it's card number 6. Happiness. I think that's a fox. It looks like a fox. Didn't you pull a fox?
Did I
want to
pull
say
it
you
for you?
pulled a fox for me. Yeah. I think you pulled a fox for me yesterday. I was in one of the group readings that Elizabeth was just talking about that turned her brain to mush. I was in one of them yesterday, and she pulled the fox for me. Interesting. Okay, so happiness. This is your soul on this message. Happiness is within your reach. This is going to make me struggle. And Valerie doesn't have to struggle. She can put her glasses on. One moment. Here we go. Happiness is within your reach. Its creation begins inside you. Even if your outer environment seems complicated or chaotic, I added that. Don't worry. Happiness is there. I already feel it. I send you much love so you can see it, then carry it into your outer life. And again, this is your soul talking to you. You have worked on yourself and you are now aware of how to create this inner happiness. If this is not yet the case, know that you will soon share it with people you love. You are a wonderful person, and I'm proud of you because you have the daring to tell it to yourself. Sometimes you say it timidly, but still you manage to express it. Before you didn't feel you could. Keep building your own happiness. You are on a beneficial path. I like that part about being able to express it to yourself. I know there was a time in my life where I could not look myself in the mirror and say you are happy or say there's happiness in your life. And so being able to express it to yourself first, that kind of goes back to Elizabeth and putting yourself first before you're trying to put on that happy face and share it with the world and be the person that everybody says you're supposed to be. Say it to yourself in the mirror. I am happy. I have happiness. That's better. I have happiness. All right. This is a message from your spirit guides. Everything is already happening. You are in a forward moving energy. If you can't see synchronicities yet, know that they'll come quickly. We are sending you signs in the form of outer events. Let yourself be guided. Keep nourishing what is most beautiful in you. Don't try to control things. All you have to do is experience the present moment and be spontaneous. Soon your inner happiness will be carried into your outer life. You will create everything that matters to you. Your wants are in line with your needs, and you are connected to yourself. Everything is falling into place. Everything is beautiful. You can already embrace the fruit of your efforts and bring your projects to life. Embrace the fruit of your efforts reminds me of that Nine of Pentacles card. All right, the entity. And so finally, this is the entity or other souls. I am happy now, even if things weren't easy for me. I was happy then. I always had that childlike fire letting me experience things intensely. Yes, I may have been clumsy, but I always found moments of happiness, even in hard times. I am guiding you towards happiness. I am sending you signs to help you create your own happiness and understand it's within your reach. Be proud of yourself. I'm going to say that one more time because some of y'all didn't hear me. Be proud of yourself. You already have everything within you. You have managed to do many things that I could not do. Keep going on this path. Keep shining as you are right now. You do not need to contact me directly. When you are happy, we are aligned with the same frequency. I am with you, and I am happy with and for you. You are creating a wonderful path, and beautiful surprises are in store for you. Keep moving forward on these beautiful waters. While the waters I sailed were filled with hardships, for you, they are peaceful. Enjoy it all for me. I want y'all to really think on that last thing and accept it as truly a message from other souls, other entities who are aware of you. Maybe they're angels, maybe they're ancestors, maybe they're dearly departed loved ones. That last part, while the waters I sailed were filled with hardship, for you, they are peaceful. Now, understand that this message is coming from someone who has a bigger and broader view, letting you know that your life is peaceful. Now, anyone out there, myself included, because I'm like, this is what you call peace? I think maybe, here, Spirit, y'all need the glasses, not me. But for anybody who's thinking that this is what you call peace, really think about that, because if this is what they call peace, how are we not seeing that? How are we not seeing it from their viewpoint? How are we creating chaos and turmoil in what could otherwise be called peace? And if they're looking at their overall everything from bigger perspective and saying, I experience hardships, but what you have is peace. It's not trying to diminish your experience. It's trying to shine the light so that you can see things could be worse. And I hate saying that because as soon as you put that in your brain, you start thinking about how they could be worse, and then you start calling in the worst to yourself. But if you can just think about that for just a microsecond before it takes hold, before it takes root, and understand that someone is looking at your life, not a physical person, but someone with bigger, broader perspective, someone with access to wisdom, someone who is now on the non-physical side with access to all that is, saying, you have a peaceful life. Ask yourself what's different between your interpretation of your life and their interpretation of your life. And can you shift anything in your life to be able to see it? Maybe that's that clarity of that Ace of Swords and that Page of Cups. Is there anything that you can shift to be able to see it from that higher perspective view and to see the peace that exists? Because the more little pockets, little glimpses, little lightning bolts, and oh, I see it, now it's gone. But the more you can see it and remind yourself that it's there, the more that it'll be there for you. So while the waters I saw were filled with hardship for you, they are peaceful. Enjoy it all for me. Enjoy it all for non-physical. Non-physical is living vicariously through you right now. Are you are you giving in joyful and peaceful experiences for them to live out? Or are you still fighting for your own limitations and fighting for, nope, I don't care what you said, my life is hard too. Oh, okay. That's what you want. More power to you. Could be peaceful, but you like the struggle bus, so go for it. All right, Elizabeth, I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
The whole time you were talking, I was thinking of the Six of Swords because it was like tumultuous water on one side and calm water on the other. I thought, I'm going to pull that card, and all I'm going to think about is the broader picture of entities. Like, what's really troubling me in the Six of Swords? It's the idea of, well, it's crossing a body of water in the traditional RWS. So it's moving from one point to another, traversing thoughts or beliefs. It's also the idea that of helping either yourself or others, because there's a ferryman and ferry person and two people. And when you were talking, I started to think like, well, if there's two people in the boat and the ferrymen, are they all alive? Do they even matter? Like, I'm really going into the Six of Swords at this point, and I'm thinking, this is a freaking channeler card. You know, like when I pull this card now,
Yeah.
I'm going to start thinking about fifth dimension channeling. Anything that's not in my head that is giving me messages is going to be traveling that boat. I love tarot.
Yes.
I love tarot.
You know what I thought of when you were saying that Six of Swords, because I thought about the two rough waters behind and smooth sailing in front. I thought about the body of water itself. Like if I was non-physical and like think of media and how media portrays angels up in the heavens and they can see everything, even though from our perspective we can just see, the immediate surroundings. So if they're looking down, they're looking and in the picture, you can see the shore where they're going. So they're not in an ocean. They're in a lake at most, maybe even a small a pond. And from spirit's perspective, they're looking down at you in this little bitty pond, and you're worried about the rough waters that are behind you. They're smooth sailing in front of you. And it's not even about the fucking water. It's about what you do when you get out on the other side on the shore, because that's the bigger body of land that you're going for. That's where your goals and your dreams and your manifestations are. So when spirit is looking down, they're seeing you in this little bitty pond. And what are you doing? Are you spinning the boat in circles talking about, oh, it's so hard? Or are you letting life force move you towards that shore, move you towards what you've been asking for, move you through the easier waters?
God, shit. I didn't realize this. The ferryman has a staff that must be shallow water. Those people, oh my God.
Yeah. It can't be like an ocean or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you, Valerie. Okay, that's just changed the Six of Swords for me. I can't wait. I'm going to be journaling on this card later.
I love it. All right. Oracle card. You got another one for us?
I would happily pull. Yes, I wanted to peek at this. Okay, these are pretty brief too. I'm going to pull a rune card. I read Elder Futhark
Ooh,
runes.
yay.
I know they're fun. So these are about 1,000 years old. So keeping in mind that the meaning of the rune, which is it's real, these have been found, these are proven, it's not made up. It's a system of it's not a language, I'd say an alphabetic system, right? That was used a long time ago. The Norse people, Elder Futhark runes, that's where the association is. So these contexts are from 1,000 years ago. This is what people thought mattered. Wealth is represented by cattle, because if you had cattle, you were wealthy. So let's just keep in mind it was a little bit different back then, right? So, and every winter meant you might lose half your tribe. Every night, someone might die. It was very cutthroat. Okay, there's no Advil, there's no penicillin, there's no doctor. Okay, I want to throw all that out there because sometimes the cards are like right in my face. I'm going, oh wait, this wasn't 2024. They made this up. Okay, we have Fehu the image. Now this is a contemporary vision for the rune card Fehu, and you can see in this corner if it shows up is what the rune actually looks like. It's like an F, but they go upwards. And it's a woman, she's lounging by a pool, person lounging by a pool with her little puppy. Okay, let's read the book. So, and actually, it is indeed the first letter of the alphabet for the elder Futhark. Futhark is named that because when they found the first runes, that was Futhark in the English alphabet. So they called it Futhark. They called the entire line of characters Futhark. So we have elder and younger. I'll stop the history lesson and let's read the card. This rune card signifies wealth, material possessions, and success in business. Owning cattle was a sign of wealth in ancient times, and this inevitably focuses interpretation of the rune's meaning on matters concerning money, property, and new income sources, or perhaps the need for them. However, it can also indicate forms of wealth that money cannot buy, such as good health, love, and happiness, and serve as a reminder to be grateful for the things in our lives that we may be taking for granted. The need for generosity, sharing your good fortune, or taking time out to help others is another facet of this rune. Additionally, Fehu may symbolize exciting new beginnings. This new beginning could be a new business venture, but it could also point to the need to define your life less by outward show and more by the things that are priceless. So, and you think like, and I actually, as an example with this card, and then we have it, but with the wealth, yeah, it doesn't have to be external. I've got like $2 in my bank account. I'm good. Bills got paid. That's wealth. If I'm not negative and the bills are paid, I'm good. I mean, I'm being totally serious. I measure it differently. But then I look over at all my tarot decks and I think, well, I am wealthy. So I do have material instincts too, as far as wealth. It's totally fine. The idea of wealth, though, does not need to be committed to you by what society thinks wealth is. It is really a personal choice on what you enjoy, what you want to nurture in your life, how you want to spend your money, the money that you work hard to make. It's all about you. You have the loudest voice in the world as an individual, even though we live as a collective. An individual is louder than any collective. What is it? How does it, like where you spend your money is what you think of the, I can't think of how you say that, like talk with your wallet. Like don't spend money at a shop if you don't like the shop. That's the kind of thing. Don't spend money on a person if you don't enjoy the person. You know what I mean? And if you don't, guess, I want to use shoes because I love shoes. If I know that I don't need those shoes, I need to ask myself, why am I buying those shoes? Because I am absolutely a retail therapy person. I go try on shoes and it calms me down, but then I don't want to buy them. I need to ask myself, what will it actually give me to have these shoes? And if I really, really think, oh, I'm going to be good, I'm going to get the shoes, but I've got to ask, because if I limit myself to thinking I am wealthy by what I own, materialistic values, I will never be wealthy. I will always be lacking because shit gets made every day that's going to catch my attention. I'm going to want to go buy it. I peruse Amazon just to see what's up. I mean, I know this about me because I'm stuck in this horrible cycle of thinking that what people see that I have is what people will think of me. No, I am a good person. I do want my decks. I'm not giving those up, but I'm a good person. You know, I'm saying that, showcasing you, my wealth. I'm a good person. My belief in that is wealth. And it's also to say that someone, oh, I'm going to say it, wealthy people may seem attractive. Like, oh, they have wealth. They must have done something good. Or even if it just landed in their lap, who cares? They're one of the few, the 1%. I don't think so, because that's just what society is telling me is important. No, I'm not going to become a monk that's going to live in the woods or, you know, monastery. No, but I do understand there are limitations to what I need to perceive as wealthy. I need to also, random thought, like how my kids see me act with money is definitely showing them what is important about money. And when I become materialistic, they'll see that as what they should be too. But this can be almost anything. I'm really starting to think about this card now. I'm not gonna pull, just real quick, Valerie. Okay, I got the King of Cups on it. I'm just pulling a clarifier with the tarot card, but the King of Cups is kind of measuring into that. I saw, really quickly, I'll wrap it up with, I saw this show several years ago, and there was this poor girl. She was so broke. She had like, I didn't know purses cost $1,200. She had 3. And I'm like, you're broke. And she's telling the camera people, she's like, I know I'm broke. I know I have a problem, but I'm going to go out and buy another purse or a pair of shoes or a nice whatever so that people look at me and think I'm wealthy and that I have it all. I'm like, girl, you're just broke. And she knows it, but to get so wrapped up in what people think, to accept that judgment as truth. And it's micro. You watch commercials. What are they telling you to do? Buy shit. Oh, your cat's not happy unless it eats this food. That is ridiculous. But
Yeah.
our own society pushes that on us. So as we sit here as individuals in a collective, we do have the strength to say, I'm going to make my own choice. Thank you for the commercial, but I'm not really into it. And for me, it takes strength. I'm telling you, I do try on shoes for therapy and it works, but then I got to lead. So I get that part. but in all seriousness too, I value you all. I see wealth here just because we've all come together to share in this room. Our energy is collective here. We're benefiting from each other just by showing up. Dudes, you didn't have to spend any money. You just had to show up. You don't even need to own a tarot deck to be here. We'll do it for you. This is perfection. This is wealth at its finest point to me. A collection of energy brought together free of form. No payment, nothing asked for. There is not reciprocity here. It is simply come, be, express. And then from this, my heart is full just because y'all showed up. I'm loving the wealth card today. Faye, you just nailed it for me. Valerie,
Love it. I love it. I just wanted to add to that because it struck a chord with me when you were talking about wealth and your form of wealth. And yeah, if we can rephrase how we define that word, wealth and abundance, I use the word abundance more often than I use the word wealth, but they're interchangeable. If we can reframe how we define that word, we can have all of the things that we think we need. I know this to be true, not because I'm just putting it out there. I know it to be true, first of all, because I feel it in my soul and my essence and what I know reality to be. But also I know it to be true because I put it in practice and it works. It works for me. When I start calling the things that I have already abundance, when I see myself as already abundant, more abundance comes to me. When I put a wall between me and abundance and say, I don't have this and I don't have this, and this means I'm in lack and I don't have, guess what? More of that shit shows up, more bills that I can't pay. But when I say I am abundant and I find a way to make that statement true, then absolutely it opens the floodgates. And I love how Elizabeth said, I'm wealthy because of my decks. I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm wealthy too. Look at that. And crystals, y'all. If you don't have decks, how many crystals do you have? Come on. How many shirts do you have? Can you take your shirt off and put on a different shirt? That's abundant because you have more than one of the thing. Because you have a shirt at all, that's abundant. Shoes. Elizabeth was talking about shoes. I'm the same girl. I will go to a store and try on 5 pairs of shoes and walk out the store without buying any shoes. We need to go shoe shopping together. Shoe looking together. I don't know what we call that, but if we don't actually shop for them. But if you have shoes, you're abundant. And I'm talking about you got one for the left foot and one for the right foot, you're abundant. You got two already. Even if you only got one pair of shoes, you still have a pair of shoes. There's so many things that I see people who are in less fortunate, and I'm not even gonna say less fortunate because they're exactly where they need to be on their path. But I see people who do not have a shoe for both of their feet. So if you have all of these things that you want to say, I'm not abundant because I don't have this, look around, look where you are right now and look at everything in your physical surroundings and call that abundance. And the more you can do that, the more abundance will come in for you. I think we have time. I got 2 minutes. I'm gonna do it real fast because I feel like this lines up. I pulled from Oracle of Visions. And it looks kind of treacherous, but the message lines up perfectly with what Elizabeth just said. It's temptation, resisting, and willpower. This is a quote from Mark Twain. There is a charm about the forbidden that makes it unspeakably desirable. Here's the message. What is it about that ingredient called forbidden? And that's what is it about that ingredient called forbidden that whets the appetite? From the innocent indulgence of one or more pieces of chocolate to more significant forbidden fruits of social behavior, we are often tempted. We indulge, even at risk to our health, our relationship with others, and our general well-being, so also at risk to our finances, like Elizabeth was talking about. Our ability to see through the illusion, to weigh the consequences, and resist the temptation is a measure of our personal willpower, character, and strength. To succumb or to resist will be a choice that defines us. A horned jester pulls apart the curtains, revealing an apple and serpent, symbols from temptation and original sin. A Shalom-style performance manifests as a vision from a flaming cauldron. As we come to understand our weaknesses and the reasons for them, they lose their power to control us. The devil becomes simply a man in a silly hat. So look at that weakness. Look at what it really means for you. And that's how you call the power back. That's how you make those weaknesses and those temptations powerless over you. I always like to end on a high note, on a funny note, on an enlightening note. I know this is a free event, like Elizabeth said, don't feel like you have to contribute. But if you choose to contribute, Jacqueline just put over in the notes how you can donate. All right, I'm going to really quickly pull from Inner Fucking Peace. And the card I got is Dance in the Storm. Y'all, I couldn't make this up any better. It's like that buffalo running into the storm. Dance in the storm. And the other side says, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. I love you all so much. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for being here and adding to the wisdom and the insights of this reading. I hope all of you have a wonderful, magical week and that you manifest the shit out of y'all's lives and out of your week. Love you all. See you back here next week. Dance in the storm. Yes.
We had a storm here today. That's so funny. We don't get very much here in Texas, and it stormed. I was like, oh my God.
That's okay. Go out and dance in it, Elizabeth.
They're down. I always, I'm just talking, you guys can go. I always cut it. I always end my room. Like, I'm like, bye, and I end. I don't wait for people to leave. But then Ari said once